Good day. My name is Molka Bazeka, and I'm originally from Congo, and I'm 20 years old. The reason why I chose to do this documentary was it's because of the challenges that I myself face as a disabled person due to transportation. So, as a child, with my aunt, when we used to go for doctor's appointments, she would, because we do not have a car, so we used to take public transport, and she would actually put me on her back and put my wheelchair into the taxi. And one taxi driver said, "You need to pay for three people." And then for three things. And then my aunt was like, "Why? There's only two people." She was like, "No, you need to pay for yourself, you need to pay for your niece, and you need to pay for the wheelchair." And my aunt did not even have money on her. She had to take her last money to pay for my wheelchair whilst we were going into the taxi. And for that has been a mark in my life ever since. And I struggle a lot. Even when I used to go to school, I would spend 100 rand, 150 just on transportation in one day. And it's not the kind of money that we do have.
Sorry guys.
It's alright.
Otherwise I am gonna be sliding off my tree and I'm not in the mood to be sliding off anyway. My name is Natalie Davids. I am a abled woman. Not going to give you my age. I live in the Western Cape, wonderful mother city. I am from Rondebosch East, and I am a wheelchair basketball coach. I am a mother of two, a girl and a boy, and I have 1,000 other kids on my basketball court. I was not born disabled. My disability only came at the age of 9. When I was part of a motor vehicle accident. The disabled transportation system within South Africa on its own is extremely bad. So far out of all the provinces, Western Cape is the best going so far. We've at least got a system called Dial-A-Ride, which is not really 100% efficient, but we are above the other provinces which do not have those facilities on hand.
My name is Shahid Johnson. I work at the 12 Apostles Hotel and Spa. I've been working there now for 19 years. I was born as a disabled called spina bifida, meaning born with an open spine. The kind of transport I'm using now to work and from work to home, I use the service of Dial-A-Ride. I would recommend Dial-A-Ride service for any disabled person to use. Reason being, it's convenient because you get picked up in front of your door and you get dropped off at your destination, which is very, very safe and very, very convenient. But with regards to time frames where you need to be, it's a bit unreliable. So that needs to be worked on and it needs a lot of attention.
Dial-A-Ride, it provides the transportation for those that require it, but also with limits and means and terms and conditions applied to it. There are many other ways. If the person is able to travel into a normal car, that is in this day and age, because we have all these lovely apps and lovely assistive drivers, and I've come quite a few across of them with our Uber systems and our InDrive systems and our Bolt systems. Those drivers are becoming so savvy smart because they have been researching how to fold chairs, how to whatever, so they're becoming so much nicer. It is, however, not cost effective.
Public transport is not reliable for disabled people because it's very difficult for them, especially when it comes to train platforms, especially when it comes to taxi, transferring a disabled person into the taxi, out of the taxi, because they need assistance. And it's also very, very difficult as a wheelchair-bound person to use a taxi because they need to pay for themselves as well for the extra wheelchair they're putting into the taxi. So it's very, very difficult, especially when it comes to the bus. The platform is very high, so you also need assistance there as well. And it makes you feel, as a disabled person, you are limited to certain things in South Africa. As a disabled person, it's very difficult to use certain things, and it's very, very easy to use certain things. But the things that you cannot do, you feel so backtracked in the sense of you are limited. And not every disabled person like this, the assistance, in the sense of others might hurt themselves, you know, of the way they get help, or some are very independent by helping themselves.
The extra cost on driving a disabled person's car is going to the license department and getting yourself a tag to say you are disabled. You have to pay for that every year as well. So you're paying to be disabled as a disabled person on all aspects. I think within our transportation environment with people with disabilities, that the minister can have so many different changes made only if he wants to. But the changes can only be made with people with disabilities.
We had a march in December 2021, and the march was all about all those late comings to work, because it set a bad reflect onto workers. The outcome to the protest was we wanted to have a word with the mayor. So it broke out into a very negative atmosphere, in the sense of, one moment they told us that the mayor is not there, and then the next moment they told us that the mayor is there, but she's in a meeting. We had a word with the Minister of Transport, but still they didn't come back to us with any results, with any feedback as such. They cannot much help us in the sense of what transport and the situation that we are struggling with, because they are not disabled, and so they don't understand where we are coming from. To get on the services of Dial-A-Ride is very, very difficult. Because you have to go through this occupational therapist, you have to have a doctor's note to state that you are disabled, you have to have a doctor's note stating that you completely disabled and cannot use public transport. My question is, why can't one see that the person is disabled, and why does the person have to go through to so much difficulties to get on a disabled transport system?
My physio tried to put me on Dial-A-Ride, and I finished matric without me being on Dial-A-Ride because of its long process. I feel like the Minister of Transportation should look into this, because we do disabled people. They didn't ask to be disabled. There's a lot of circumstances that makes people disabled. You know, you can just wake up in the morning, you don't know what happens, and then at the end of the day you won't be able to walk again. But there needs to be a system placed to assist those people, because you do feel like you're incompetent when you're disabled, but then it makes you feel even worse if you can't move around. I've spent my teenage life, and I'm still spending my young life always thinking ahead. If I want to go out with my friends, I need to first think about, okay, what is the mode of transportation? I have to put 200 rand aside for one day if I do want to have fun with my friends, or I want to go out. It should be something that, because there are a lot of disabled people in the city, there should be facilities for disabled people. There needs to be a load removed from their back in, okay, I am disabled, but I feel like I can do anything because I can go anywhere I want, or I can go and do my daily day activities, because we also have needs. We also want to go to work, just wake up early in the morning, take a taxi and go to work, or go to school, or go shopping like every other normal person, because we are normal.
I would just like to say out to any disabled person out there, do not feel discouraged. Let we all stand together as disabled people, and let us encourage and show the world that we are able to fight for our rights.
You are disabled, but you are differently able.
I want to also reach out to other companies that have the ability to make a change, to do something about this situation. Even myself, God willing, I grow up and I get a good job, and I can place something that will be accessible for disabled people and help make life easier. So I hope this documentary reaches many people and touches many hearts, and especially the Minister of Education, of Transportation. I hope he also hears this and sees the needs of people, and just not see it for 2 or 3 people in this interview, but sees it as the nation, a lot of disabled people talking about the same thing. Thank you.